you very much. Thank you. Thank you. This is a bit different from any ones that I've done before, in as much as everything's on the piano. A lot of it's taking the music back to as it was in its original form and how I wrote it in the first place. This is one such piece I did with the Straubs, which was probably my favourite Straubs piece of all time. I don't know if anybody remembers the Straubs. God, you're all as old as I am. And the Straubs, we did some great stuff. Dave Cousins is still a great friend of mine, and they wrote this track called Glimpse of Heaven, which I just thought was my favourite track of all time, which I'm going to play the original piano version, which I did with Dave when he just did the acoustic guitar. I think Straubs played a big part in my life right from the early days because being very much an acoustic band, it gave me a chance to sort of really do things on the piano that you're not really able to do sometimes when you move on and join more electronic bands. So I'm going to do Glimpse of Heaven after I've done another piece, which was a piece of music that was the actual second piece of music that I ever learned to play. And that was, I've mentioned before to those of you who've come along and seen me before, my wonderful music teacher, Mrs. Symes. And Mrs. Symes, I can remember from the very first lesson I had when I was 5 that she had some remarkable attributes. She was a great teacher. She was covered in freckles, which I always remember, and had the most enormous breasts. Which even when you're 5 is pretty exciting. But she taught me an awful lot because there was a period when I was about 11 years old when she actually said to me, Richard, she called me Richard, she said, Richard, you're not playing with the feeling that you used to play with. And why is that? And I gave her what I thought was the right answer. I said, well, the problem is, Mrs. Symes, that up until now, all the pieces I've learnt have had names like The Cherry Tree or A Walk in the Woods or The Boat on the Ocean. And I said I could close my eyes and imagine the boat on the ocean or the cherry tree, and I could play whilst thinking of it. I said, but now I'm doing things like Clementi Sonatina in F and Prelude and Fugue. And I said, I don't understand what that means. And she said, well, the easiest thing to do, and I've used this for the rest of my life as well, she said, take that piece of music, listen to it, what it sounds like, and give it your own title. And once you've given it your own title, that's what it can be from there on. And it worked tremendously. In fact, from that lesson, I was about 11 at the time, Haydn's Sonata in D became I Wonder If She's Got Freckles on Her Tits, which obviously did the trick because she said she'd never heard me play with such feeling, which was amazing. The second piece of music, she also taught me about concerts, how to do concerts. And the very first concert I ever did, absolutely true, was I played a piece called See a Monkey on a Stick. The actual words were, see a monkey on a stick, he can do a clever trick. Funny enough, I rewrote it when I was about 13, but that's by the by. I played See a Monkey on a Stick at one of her concerts, and it was the first concert I ever played at. And because I was the youngest, I was 5, I went on first. And I had no idea even what a concert was. And she just told me to go through, it's absolutely true, she told me to go through the doors, announce my name and the piece of music, and then play it. And then get up and bow and walk out. And I walked in, and I was amazed. There's about 30 parents all sitting there, and I was only 5. And I said, Richard Wakeman, See a Monkey on a Stick. And I sat down and played it, and to my astonishment, when I stood up, they all clapped and applauded. And I thought that was absolutely fantastic. So I played it again. In fact, I played it 4 times before I got pulled off by my mum and Mrs. Symes. I thought you'd like to hear it. I thought you'd like to hear See a Monkey on a Stick. So I'm going to do See a Monkey on a Stick, as I did it originally, aged 5, which I'm sure will be met with a thunderous round of applause, followed by the Straubs' Glimpse of Heaven, and I hope you have a nice night. Thank you.